Good day. Welcome to another version of Literacy Daily. Today we want to focus on the skill of inference. Inference is a very important comprehension skill. We use it in our everyday lives and sometimes we don't even realize that we're inferring. And most of the times our inferences are based on our own experiences. And that's a good thing, although it can be a bad thing. Whenever you read a passage or you observe a situation, you use the information in the paragraph, or if it's an actual situation, use the information that you're actually seeing in front of your eyes, and you also connect that to whatever experiences you know of otherwise in real life, and that will help you to find an inference. Inference is an educated guess based on combining two things: your experience and the experience in the actual situation or in the text. For example, let me just read a short paragraph for you. Ben ran into the room screaming. His teacher got up from her seat and ran to hug him. He was jumping up and down and waving a white paper in the air. His heart was pounding. He couldn't wait to tell his mother the news. Now let's do some inference. What do you think? Is this something good happening? Let's go on your emotions first. Is this something good happening or something bad happening? Ben ran into the room screaming. When do you usually scream? Do you scream if you're injured? Do you scream if you're hurt? Injured and hurt means the same thing. Do you scream when you get good news? Yes, because you need to explore all the reasons you scream. Would you scream if you are afraid? So these are some of the things that you can explore. Why is Ben screaming? That's your first sentence. Why is he screaming? Is he screaming because he's injured? Is he screaming because he's afraid? Is he screaming because he got good news? Yeah, some people do that. Then they say his teacher got up and ran to him and hugged him. And then he was jumping up and down. That can happen if you're hurt. Do you think you'd really be jumping up and down? I don't think so. And if it's a school situation, and he is injured on the playing field, use your experience. Do you think that he would be the one running to his teacher all alone? I don't think so. Then if he's in school, what kind of good news would he get that would cause him to behave like that? Is he afraid? First of all, what is he doing out of the classroom? Because in order to find your inference, you need to ask yourself many questions. You should not just be reading. You should be questioning yourself while you are reading, to find out, what is actually going on behind the scene. For example, it continues to say he is waving a white paper in the air. Where did he get that white paper from? Then she said his heart was pounding. Why would your heart be pounding? Are you afraid? Then he said he couldn't wait to tell his mother the news. If he couldn't wait to tell his mother the news, do you think it would be bad news? When are we usually anxious to tell people news? When something good happens or when something bad happens? Let us explore that. So I want to ask you a few questions that will test your skill on inference. For example, I want to ask you, why do you think? Because it's what you think, huh? Yeah, once you can explain your answer. Why do you think Ben was screaming? I would say he was screaming because he got some good news, and that good news was probably written on that paper. Maybe he entered a competition and won. Maybe his friend gave him some good news. But then again, why would he come in all alone to the classroom if all that excitement is going on? Or was he trying to just get the attention of the teacher? Because sometimes children do that too. My aim today is not to give you an answer. My aim today is to help you to explore what you should be thinking when you're looking for inference. You should be targeting your own experiences and asking questions all along the way that will challenge your answer. For example, if you said, maybe he sat SEA and he or whatever exam and he got his results, and the children were in their classrooms and he wanted to run downstairs to tell his favorite teacher, you know, the good news and all of that. And then you can say, but wait, if it's SE, most children, parents are there with them to get the results, but not always. Some children come alone because of the socio-economic situation, or he may be living with a sick parent. You see, whenever you are doing inference, you need to really think. Sometimes children leave things blank on a paper, not because they don't know the answer, you know, because they are not taught to think critically. It is important that we apply critical thinking skills in our daily lives. It's important that we learn to question things. So, for example, you sit at home and you hear a siren. You need to infer, you need to find out in your mind, I wonder what is causing a siren. What usually causes somebody to put on a siren? What type of siren is it? Can you differentiate whether it was a siren from a police vehicle or was it a siren from a fire brigade, or whether it was an ambulance siren? And if you think it's an ambulance, then it means that somebody may be sick. Or if you think it's the police, it means that they're probably chasing after some bandits. Right? Or if it's a fire brigade, and you're hearing the siren going off, then you know definitely that what is happening there is that I'm not going to answer you. You think about the answer. So I want you to enjoy these skills and not see them as paper and pencil, but see it as, hey, this is something for me to practice in everyday life. Whenever you see a text or you have to read a passage, right? Don't read the passage and be burdened by it. Read the passage with excitement and put yourself, use your imagination. Most of these comprehension skills is about using your imagination, your real life experiences and your imagination in order to figure things out. Because you see, many of us think that our experiences have nothing to do with it when it comes to developing comprehension skills. But I want to tell you something. When it comes to developing comprehension skills, you need to know real life experiences, and that can be, you can get those real life experiences in several ways. You can get the real life experience by looking at movies, by actually going on field trips, by talking to others. There are many ways that you can get real life experiences. But please, when you're using the skill of inference, make sure that you apply those real life experiences, because that is what is going to help you solve or respond to the questions accurately. Most times in an exam, they will not give you something wrong if you can explain your answer and it's a logical answer. Where you go wrong is if you just put an answer that is not even based on any form of factual reality. Join me tomorrow on Literacy Daily.